The Rothschild is the most evil and family I ever read or I ever heard about. Uh, they are the most dangerous in the planet. They've made uh, decisions, uh, evil decisions that have changed the world in many instances. Um, they were involved in almost all wars that we know in from the 1900. We can say from the 1800. These people were involved on sponsoring wars, both sides of the wars, because they make lots of money uh, when there's wars. They are able to, when they are selling their arms to all these nations, they create more money. They make more money uh, when there are conflicts. The reason they sponsor both sides of the war, it's because whosoever wins, uh, they also win. I want to talk about them with regards to banks. All the banks that exist on the planet are owned by this family. Some few banks which are not owned by this family. In other, maybe in China and in Eastern Europe, but there's a lot of banks with different names which were created, which are companies created by the Rothschild family. The the guy who started the f- the business had 10 children, and he took five of them and spread them across Europe in different countries in Europe to open different branches of banks in the 1800s in France, in England, in Italy, using different names. They own reserve banks uh, of all European countries and of all the colonies that they hold, England hold. Of all those colonies, they own the financial sector in all of those places. Not only the financial sector, you name it, they own it. Whatever you want to name, they own it. But when I read the story, one of the shocking things I found about them is that one of the family members killed himself. The Rothschild, one of the family members, a child from the richest family in the planet, killing themselves because they are not happy about themselves. So it tells you that those who think money is going to make them happy or is going to liberate them, they've got another thing coming. Um, some shocking things does happen sometimes, you know. Carnegie, there's Dale Carnegie and there's Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie is the guy who started the steel industry or became rich during the Iron Age. So Dale Carnegie is the guy who wrote the book How to win friends and influence people. He killed himself because of the relationship that went wrong between him and his wife. So, ironically, I think one of the things that cause these things is because sometimes they steal this work. I think it was a work stolen from a slave, and he attributed it to himself. Well, he just read the book. This is just what I'm thinking. I don't know. This is not a fact. It's just what I'm thinking. But I don't want to talk about that at the moment. I'm talking about how the financial sector and these people are waking the Rothschild family. Imagine if you are given the right to print paper money and buy assets. Imagine if you have that right. The Rothschild family have got the right to print money across the world and buy assets as much as they want across the world, because they are the one who got the responsibility to print the money. Uh, Imagine if you were allowed to just print papers and pay people and tell them this is money. Get people to work for you, and at on the month end, you just print papers and pay them. Now it's even worse because they are not. 94% of the money that exists which is in circulation, it's digital money. It's not in paper. So, like, if you can go to the bank, if we can all go to the bank, even 10% of those who have money in the bank, if they can go and say, I need my money, I need to withdraw, they won't have the papers to give you. Those papers, they only have 4% of the money, which is in circulation, is actually in physical paper. But 96% of the money is digital. It does not even exist. So you work the whole month, and then they just send you an SMS at the end of the month, and then you spend those credits to access the places the slave masters has opened for you to have access on. I mean, when are black people going to realize how these banks are working? You are giving real energy, but you are paid in SMSs or you are paid in papers. Somebody who has given himself a right to print a paper and pay you. This money was used to be in, previously there was a gold backing to each promissory note. Money started as a promissory note because people did not want to carry gold around. So when I give you a paper, which is a promissory note that says I have $100 or 100 rand, it means I have got a gold value of that amount in my house. It's just that I can't be carrying gold. Now I'm carrying this paper as a sign of me having the gold in the house. Now it does not work like that. There's no backing for the paper that they are paying the people. The paper that they are paying the people, it's just from a printer. And they have given themselves the right to print the paper. So it's like you can gather slaves and pay them and make them work in all these industries that you own, and print papers and pay them. And some you just send them SMSs to give them access. At the same time, those SMSs, the same night, the SMS is coming in. The same night, other SMSs are taking are taking back that money from the same person, taking back his money. So this is how the system works, to create and to continue slavery of black people, working for nothing, thinking you are working for something, working for food and for clothes. Because what do they give you? They give you access to buy, to take clothes. They give you access to buy food, the food that you are producing in the farms, the clothes that you are manufacturing in the factories. They give you access to those things when you can prove that you are one of the slaves. If you can't prove, uh, they deny the access. What is the way to prove that you are part of the system? Bank card. So the banks will continue to use our children as slaves as long as we are not able to teach our own children. As black people, we really need to wake up and vote for the MK party, which will bring real changes to the system, which will bring the laws that will enable black people to use their own resources for the benefit of themselves. I thank you for listening.